All my life, I never really felt like I had an issue with injustice. I always knew that the world was an unfair place, but I had never given it much thought to as why people were perceived in the way that they were compared to others. In a perfect world, everyone would be happy and get along. However, how can this be possible when there are social injustices that keep us from achieving this perfect world? My name's Nancy. I'm a senior at UMass Amherst studying communication. As I anxiously count down the final days until I graduate, I look back at the personal and educational experiences that I received at my time here. I'm a first generation. Both my parents immigrated from Vietnam. They worked very hard for what they have, were able to raise and support three kids. I'm the oldest. Although my parents never received a higher education themselves, college was something that was always expected of me. It never processed in my head that finances would impact my education choices until it was time to apply. Before I committed to the University of Massachusetts Amherst, I had my eyes set out on another school, a private, out-of-state university that I would never have been able to afford, and it was a highly known school, away from home. It seemed like the end of the world when that idea of my dream school was taken away from me. It didn't seem fair. Little did I know back then that the amount of debt I would have encountered at the end of my education if I went there would not have been worth it at all. My identity of being middle class really influenced this decision. I had the privilege to be able to go to college, but this privilege was still limited. Because it was too late to enroll into UMass by the time I decided what my second option would be, I had to wait a whole semester before I could start. Being a semester behind made me extremely nervous. I had already missed a whole semester. I was going to be a new kid on the block. Everyone already knew where all the buildings were, had all their friends. And I would never have thought back then that that semester off was such a blessing in disguise. Fate had really taken its course, and UMass Amherst became the best mistake. I fell in love with the campus, the town, the people, all the people that I've met, all the things that I've done because of my time here, all the friends that I've met here that I hope that I will have in my life for a very long time. I'm happy now, but that experience is the standout moment where I found myself being marginalized for my social economic status. However, I still got to go to school. I could move 2 hours away from home and create a new one. I could afford these opportunities. Others may not be so lucky as me. There are people who don't have the option of going to college. There are people who can't afford to live at school. There are people who can't even afford the college applications themselves to even have the chance to be considered. And there are those who are more fortunate than others. It's not an even playing field, and activism to achieve social justice is what will bring systems of oppression to light, so that maybe one day a college education will be accessible for all, no matter what class. As graduation approaches, I'm a little nervous with what the future holds for me. However, the twist of fate that I encountered as an 18-year-old is preparing me for this future. That experience has taught me that it's okay to be nervous. It is okay to take some time off before jumping into the lifelong career. I'm lucky enough to have experienced all that I have. I'm lucky enough to have had opportunities others could only dream of. And what I want to mention, although it is extremely important to point out injustices and be aware of the marginalization of others' face, my friends and I all come from different backgrounds. Some are wealthier than others, some not so much. Some friends don't have jobs, and many others do. We understand this. We know everyone was raised from a different background, and we have seen situations where some of us have been marginalized. We all understand that we have our individual differences, but what I see when I'm with my friends, what we all see when we're together, is a group of people who enjoy each other's company. We can be in a silent room and fill it with so much love. We don't see poor, we don't see race, we see everyone as one. We see love. And as society works its way to achieving social justice, what I hope to see is that the world can see us as we see each other.